Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Murphy, there's something that we used to do as a couple that we don't do anymore that our youngest daughter brought to our attention.
Really?
When she stopped by the house the other day, we were just visiting, and it was funny because she said this, and it was like, oh, I miss that too. But she said, yeah, I do miss going to look at houses with y'all all the time.
Because that's what you and I just
we used to do.
We're just curious, and it's
well, we were looking to buy, or y'all just looked.
We were looking every time we would get on a kick, and we would go every Saturday and Sunday to look at houses and make appointments. We were looking. Mm-hmm. So we've lived in 3 different homes since we got married.
Got to stay ahead of the law.
What?
That's right.
What's funny is the house we live in now is my favorite one we've ever lived in. So we're not looking for a home. We're not. Mm-mm. But when I tell you, you can get addicted to that, we did. We were legit looking the first time and the second time and the third time. We were legit trying to upgrade, better closet space, closer to schools, all those things, all the things.
So when you weren't looking, though, what was the thrill?
It's just interesting. I don't know. The neighborhood driving,
there.
Yeah.
You drive by a house and you've thought it was cute forever, and then there's a for sale sign, you can go in.
Yeah.
And then you start walking through it, and this would be, you start going, this would be great. I don't know. We were just addicted to it.
Yeah.
And I can remember when we bought the house we live in now, Murphy, and that was over. There was no more doing that on the weekend. I was kind of like, well,
guess I'll turn on the TV.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not weird. I understand it.
She misses it.
She misses us all riding together.
She
doing
loved doing it too. When she was like a little kid, she was like, oh, maybe I could sell houses. She had that real estate, like light bulb go off. I'm like, yes, you could. Yeah. And she thought, she literally, if we decided we wanted to go look at houses, she'd be upset if we didn't invite her.
Yeah.
Because she would always pick her room.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what we were doing is it was our version of, HGTV, but in person, It was our version of the House app, because you see and you get ideas, and
we would talk about the pros and cons of one. And if I really loved it and he didn't, that would be kind of, and then vice versa. I thought about it today also, not just because of Phoebe saying that, because of a story that we didn't do in the show, but I wanted to share with you, Murphy, especially. For anybody who listens to us and doesn't know, Murphy really loves Johnny Carson, the late, great Johnny Carson. Mm-hmm. You have a thing for him.
Yeah.
And rightly so. What a talent. Yeah. What a special person. Before there was Fallon and Kimmel and
Jay
Leno and even Letterman, there was Johnny Carson. And there were many before him as well, but he was just crazy. Well, his legendary Malibu estate is on the market. And it's only been on the market a couple of times. He bought it in the 80s for $9.5 million.
Wow.
And then one of his ex-wives lived in it until she passed away in the early 2000s. And then some venture capitalist, bought it and lived in it. Now it's for sale. 2025. It's for sale. You could make an appointment and go see it.
However, the price is what?
It's 4 acres.
Wow.
5-bedroom main house. There's a tennis pavilion. He loved tennis and golf.
He did love tennis.
Right? Mm-hmm. It has a guest home. It's probably nicer than our home. It's fine. And 327 feet of private coastline, which is unheard of, right? Yeah. Private coastline with this property.
Wow.
Anyway, the realtor calls it one of Malibu's most special properties. Of course it is. And it's going for $110 million. They're asking $110 million for it. But to me, the flex being this was Carson's Malibu mansion.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's updated, but then it also has such a level of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm assuming you have to have a certain amount of money to even get the tour.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you're talking about y'all going around and looking at houses.
I'm sure you have to have proof of funds. Yes, Sam. It's not going to be.
Pull up at Johnny's house and it's like, hey, can we look?
There's an open house at Johnny Carson's old place this weekend. Yeah.
You don't roll up in your 20-year-old 4Runner going, can we look?
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny because I wanted to tell you about it, Murphy. You can look online at what pictures are available. It's stunning.
So I guess if it was built or he bought it in the 80s?
He bought it in the 80s. I don't know when it was built. See, I didn't dig that far in. I know you will. But.
Because I know like Frank Sinatra's is that mid-century kind of mid-century modern look. I don't know what Carson's looked like.
Me either.
But
Mid-century modern, but with modern updates, is so awesome because it remains true to the design, even the low ceilings, but or the rooms that have the high ceilings, the windows. But to add modern touches is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to live in a house like that. I would feel out of place in how cool a house like that would be. Yeah. The Sinatra house. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that it's on the market, and you can later on when you feel like looking and Googling something cool.
It would be a fun one to drive through.
We always still love
see.
Drive by. You mean?
Drive by and do the open house thing, which they're not going to do an open house for that. I know.
This Sunday, noon to 3.
Not that I'm going to be anywhere near it,
You've never gone to look at houses just for a kick of it,
No.
Sam?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You've never been looking for a new house.
No.
Not in all the years I've known you, actually.
Yeah, we just built.
Built what you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, Murphy and I still to this day, we're not looking for a new house, but we like to do that.
Yeah.
We get curious about stuff in our neighborhood when it goes on the market. I'm surprised we haven't done that yet. When stuff goes on the market in our neighborhood, it's really hard for us to not peep in there and go, what's this look like on the inside?
Did y'all ever look at any houses that had the old intercom systems?
My grandmother's house had that.
Yeah.
And
did we look at any, though? Mm-mm.
It seems like there might have been one house that did have, and it's funny, the intercom systems never seem to work anymore.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question, if it ever worked.
Yeah. My grandmother's house had that, and they built that house. So for whatever reason, my grandfather wanted the intercom system.
It was cool.
And I remember when it did work, and then it had, this shows you the time period we're talking about. It had tubes in it. So when it started to go bad and they tried to work on it once, and I tried to mess with it myself, and it shocked me pretty bad.
Ouch.
Literally, so I didn't mess with it
alone.
after that. But I always thought those were cool. There were a lot of the mid-century modern homes also have these built-in vacuum systems.
Oh yeah.
You would take your hose and just plug it into the wall like you would anything else, because the pipes went through the house.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you would just vacuum to a little central location and empty one canister out. That's kind of a cool thing.
I didn't know that.
I'm assuming that's a difficult maintenance thing, and suck a sock up in that. You're probably going to be. It's like you're going to be looking for that for a long time to try to get it cleared out. But and then I know that there was a house that Jodi and I went into, and we actually nicknamed him Mr. Orange.
Yeah.
Because all of his vehicles were these retro. He was a total mid-century modern person.
Yeah.
So he had this old Ford truck. It was painted orange, and there was another car that he had that was painted orange. Mm-hmm. But the house was decked out in mid-century modern furniture and everything.
That was the stacked stone house?
Yeah, it was stacked stone on the inside. It had this double oven thing in it, and the story on that house was it was a teacher it was a home ec teacher, which you don't have home ec anymore, but home economics, it was a double oven, and she would do a lot of her cooking in that kitchen. So you just see different unique things when you go look for these things.
You go look at houses, and enough of them, you'll see something that you want and the things that you don't want. Yeah. You'll get a feeling about a house.
Yeah, I think for the time period that we were doing that, because our, the house that we were, the girls were born in was small, and they just outgrew
Super
it.
Small.
And we needed to move as a result of that. But so you're doing it out of necessity. But
it becomes fun.
Yeah, it does become a lot of fun.
Yeah. And sometimes you agree on them and sometimes you don't. And it's like, I'm laying out the positives, and Murphy like, no, but they're asking too much. It became a whole thing. Yeah. It became a whole thing. I'm glad we've retired that. I really am, but it is fun. And it's funny to me that Phoebe remembers it fondly and always will.
Mm-hmm. Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.